Hey guys, JennieFreakinKim here. In today's video, I'll be creating a tier list of K-pop music releases from the first half of 2024 up to June. If you're new here, my channel focuses mainly on girl groups, so I'll be featuring releases from my favorite established groups, as well as some exciting new groups that I've recently started listening to. When I mention releases, I'm including albums, EPs, and singles. I'll be ranking these based on their quality and creativity. As you can see below, I've compiled all the releases I've been enjoying so far this year. If I missed any of your favorites, let me know in the comments. Remember, this is just my personal opinion and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Now, let's dive in. To kick off the video, let's talk about NMIXX and their first album, FE304 Break. This is without a doubt my favorite release from NMIXX so far. The variety of songs on this album is fantastic, with Dash and Passion Fruit being my personal favorites. This album really showcases their vocal and rapping talents, and it's more consistent compared to their previous releases, which, while quirky and fun, didn't quite hit the mark for me. With this album, they're definitely moving in the right direction, and I hope they can maintain this momentum going forward. So I'm placing NMIXX's FE304 Break in the Great tier. Dash is the standout track here, although I wouldn't call it an absolute bop. Still, NMIXX definitely has the potential for even more amazing releases in the future. Up next we have Sserafim. Their EP ITZY was absolutely amazing, kicking off the year with not one but two incredible bops. The songs Smart and Easy are definite highlights of 2024, and in my opinion, they have great daesang potential. Personally, I think Swan Song is my favorite from this release and deserves more attention. Sserafim has been consistently releasing hit after hit since their debut, and ITZY is another fantastic addition to their collection. I'm fully confident that we will continue to release songs of this caliber in the future. Because of this, I'm placing Sserafim's ITZY in the flawless category. Next up, we have Kiss of Life. I'll admit I had only heard a few of their songs here and there, but when I heard Midas Touch, I was instantly hooked. This single is undeniably a bop. The lyrics, the rapping, the vocals, absolutely phenomenal. Another track, Nothing, is so underrated and deserves more attention. Kiss of Life is brimming with talent and potential, and I'm really looking forward to them releasing an album in the near future. I genuinely believe they could be strong contenders in the fifth generation of K-pop groups. Kiss of Life truly ate and left no crumbs, and in my opinion, Midas Touch is definitely daesang material. They belong in the flawless tier, though I will place them behind Sserafim's ITZY, as I think that release is on another level. Now let's talk about Triple S. They're another group I've started listening to recently. With their latest album, Assemble 24, I think they've delivered a pretty solid release. I love the variety of songs on this album. Their track, Girls Never Die, is the most popular and is also my favorite. While it may not quite reach the level of a bop, it's definitely on the right path. With that said, I'll place Triple S's Assemble 24 in the good tier. It's a good release, but it doesn't quite have that wow factor like some of the other releases we've discussed. Let's talk about IVE. They kicked off the year with their single All Night featuring American artist Saweetie. I remember hearing this for the first time and being pleasantly surprised, as it was something unexpected from IVE. I liked the song and thought it was a solid collaboration. However, I'd place this single in the okay tier, not because it was bad, but because it doesn't quite compare to IVE's previous releases. IVE had another release their single Will, and to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of this song. I really tried to like it, but I just couldn't get into it. No offense to IVE, but this song is definitely forgettable and easily one of my least favorite IVE songs by far. Because of that, I'm placing this single in the disappointing tier. For my sake, let's just move on. By then, I started to lose hope in IVE, but then they released their EP IVE Switch. IVE did not disappoint with this one. I absolutely love every song on this release, with Heya and Excendio being my favorites. The concept for this release might be one of my favorites from IVE, and I appreciate the variety of songs. These tracks will definitely be on repeat all summer long. Is this daesang material? Probably not. Heya might be their best bet, but even then, I don't think it's strong enough for Song of the Year. Either way, I'll place IVE Switch at the top of the great tier. Not to downplay NMIXX, but I prefer IVE's concept more. Up next, we have TWICE. They released their 13th EP with Youth, and once again, they do not disappoint. The standout tracks are I Got You and One Spark, which I believe are deserving of a daesang nomination. My personal favorite from this release is Rush. TWICE has been incredibly consistent with all of their releases, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. For me, TWICE's With Youth EP belongs in the great tier. While it's packed with great songs, I don't think it quite stacks up against ITZY or Midas Touch. Next up, we have (G)I-DLE. They released their second album, and, well, in case you forgot, it's literally the name of their album. Not the most creative title, but let's focus on the music. This album is a banger, filled with a great variety of songs. The standout tracks, Wife and Super Lady, should definitely be nominated for a daesang. (G)I-DLE is one of those rare groups that has been consistently releasing bangers since day one, and I hope they keep them coming. Soyeon has been cooking and pumping out hits for years now. Their album is undoubtedly going up in the flawless tier, but once again, ITZY by Sserafim is just too strong, even for (G)I-DLE. I even had a tough time deciding if I should place them in front of Midas Touch, but after careful consideration, I'll have to put them behind. No offense to (G)I-DLE, but I think Midas Touch is slightly better. Next up, we have ITZY. They released their 5th album, Born To Be, early this year, and I was absolutely blown away. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of some of their recent releases, but I think Born To Be was a significant improvement. This album was filled with a variety of songs, and it easily has to be one of my favorite concepts from ITZY. What I appreciated the most were their solo songs. It was the first time the ITZY members had done this, and I think they did a fantastic job. I also really appreciated how Leah was given a solo song, considering her hiatus. Now, the question is Born To Be a daesang caliber album? Absolutely. I think this album has the potential to award ITZY Album of the Year and possibly a nomination for Song of the Year with their most popular song, Untouchable, though I do think it will be tough. With that being said, and without hesitation, I will place ITZY in the flawless tier, and I'll even go as far as putting them in front of Sserafim's ITZY. I still think Sserafim has better odds of winning Song of the Year compared to ITZY, but I prefer what Born To Be delivered in terms of variety and creativity. Another release from ITZY was their Japanese single, Algorithm. This single also released with No Biggie, which is my favorite song of the two. I liked this single as it reminds me of that classic ITZY style of music compared to Born To Be. However, I would still choose Born To Be over Algorithm any day, as their album was way too overpowered compared to their single. This one was difficult for me to place as I liked this release as well, but I don't think it was an absolute bop like some of their past releases. I also don't think Algorithm is on the same level as NMIXX's FE304, Break or I've Switch, but it's for sure better than Triple S's album. Therefore, I will place ITZY's Algorithm single in front of Triple S within the good tier. Next up, we have BabyMonster. They released their first EP, and in case you forgot the name of the group, it's literally the title of the album, with a 7 replacing the T to represent the number of members within the group. I honestly think that this was a great release and gives me high hopes for BabyMonster's future, as it looks very bright. The variety of songs truly showcases their talent and potential, and I absolutely loved how they switched up the style of their songs with this release. I also really appreciated how they re-released previous songs like Batter Up and Stuck in the Middle with Ayeon in it, as she was on an early hiatus in the beginning. I think this EP is definitely on the level of a Daesang, and I'm confident that their songs Sheesh and Batter Up will be in the race for the Song of the Year award this year. Because of that, I will place them within the flawless tier between ITZY and Midas Touch. Next, let's talk about ILLIT. They burst onto the scene with their very first release, Super Real Me, and instantly climbed the charts alongside some of the best in the industry. Their track, Magnetic, already boasts about 250 million plays on Spotify, putting it firmly in the discussion for the Song of the Year award. The Y2K concept is one of my favorites in the industry, and I think ILLIT fits it perfectly. Without question, I believe that ILLIT's Super Real Me EP belongs in the flawless category. In my opinion, they are neck and neck with BabyMonster, as both groups are leaders of the 5th generation. However, if I had to pick a favorite, I would have to go with BabyMonster. Not to hate on ILLIT, but BabyMonster truly showcased their talent, vocals, and rapping abilities with this release, and the fact that they included Ayeon in previous songs was the icing on the cake, so I will place ILLIT behind them. When it comes to Midas Touch, I think Magnetic was way too strong, accompanied by the rest of their songs. I don't think Midas Touch can beat that. Up next, let's talk about NewJeans. When it comes to the Y2K concept, I believe NewJeans executes it the best in the K-pop industry. Not to throw shade at ILLIT, but I think NewJeans is on a whole different level. However, when it comes to their most recent release, I think ILLIT might have them beat. NewJeans released their single How Sweet, accompanied by Bubblegum, with Bubblegum being my favorite of the two. Comparing this single to their past releases, I think it slightly falls short. These two songs are nowhere near the level of Super Shy or Ditto, but I still think they are great songs. Because of that, I will have to place this release within the great tier, but at the very front. Moving on to aespa, they released their first album this year, Armageddon, and wow, did this release make my jaw drop to the floor. The wide variety of songs with all types of styles, and the concept for this release was so ethereal. This album is full of absolute bangers, and has the potential of winning aespa multiple Daesangs this year. With that being said, I believe aespa deserves to be at the very top of this list and is my favorite K-pop release of 2024 so far. And there you have it. That is my tier list of favorite K-pop releases so far in 2024. Now I will say this, most of my favorite girl groups have already put out releases this year, and I highly doubt that any of them would put out anything until next year, so I don't really see myself remaking this video until then. But I do look forward to the Blackpink girls releasing their solo music, which is expected to release later this year, and I will more than likely make a video about that. If you enjoyed the video, please support the channel by dropping a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching!